Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are going to be doing some team of the year price predicting. I'm very excited for this because a lot of people have been asking for it, and it was a video that I tried to get around to making this weekend, but I just didn't really have time. So we're going to be doing that this morning. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. And basically the way that we're going to be doing the video today, we're going to be talking about probably like 15 players. Because for me, I'm not going to know the exact team of the year, right? Like, I can't just tell you the 11 that's going to be in team of the year. I have no idea, right? This is a community vote, which means that there's a lot of variables, right, that people could get in that really are not too expected. So we got to consider all that stuff because there's a lot of things there that we need to just kind of keep into consideration. So if you guys enjoyed the video today, a thumbs up is super appreciated. And just in the comments, let me know what you guys think, right? Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, price predictions are really hard to do. You have to consider a lot of things, right? There's always a lot of variables with price predictions and the way that you go about figuring out what price players are going to be. So don't also take my video, too seriously, because I've had videos in the past where I do price predictions for certain things, and when the player is not that priced by like 500K, people are ready to put me on a chopping block, bro. These guys they're so mad at me. I'm like, okay, relax, like it's okay, right? But anyways, so when we take a look at it, I gotta move my face cam over here. Wow, that was not good. But so team of the year, guys, is gonna come out, I think, within the next 2 weeks, right? That's what it looks like. I think if it comes out later than 2 weeks, that's crazy because it's almost February. It's just team of the year is always a winter event, and we're stretching at that point. We're leaving that season, so yeah, you guys gotta hurry up. So first of all, goalkeepers historically are always very cheap. This year's goalkeeper is probably going to be Alisson or Neuer. I think Neuer will get it. I've seen Neuer in the majority of people's votes. When we take a look at last year's team of the year, Alisson was very, very, very cheap. And he was a Prem keeper. Now, he was like 500K in packs. I think day one he was like 700K. And you guys can see day two he's 540. And then he was 420. So 430. The goalkeeper is always the most supplied player. Like, this is the player that gets packed the most because it's by far the worst player. The goalkeeper is the least relevant team of the year player every single year. So, to me, that's not surprising. If we go back and we even look, we could probably just do 19 up here and go to team of the year. De Gea was more expensive, and that's because De Gea was insane. De Gea was a very, very good goalkeeper. He was probably top 2, top 3 in the game. This year of FIFA 19, pretty much, in my opinion, it was De Gea and it was Van der Sar. Those two keepers were phenomenal in their own ways. Van der Sar was probably the better keeper, saver, and De Gea was probably better at moving the keeper to the faster speed. But even in 18, De Gea was a mill. So, you could see that if people will pay, whether that's Man United hype or that's because De Gea is actually good, people will pay for it. Neuer was not good in 17, and people still paid a million coins. So, I think for me, if Neuer gets a card this year, I don't see him being super cheap because I just think he will have a little bit of that kind of cool demand. I think that his inform is already 180K, whereas if you looked at last year and we go and look at like Alisson's card from last year, Alisson had a card that I think people didn't pay that much for. I don't even know how much his nominee card was, but his nominee card wasn't too much, right? It was like 100K. So Alisson is kind of like SBC fodder. I think Inform Neuer is less of SBC fodder. Obviously, if he was SBC fodder, he'd be like 100K. So for me, if I were to take a price prediction on an Alisson, I would say probably like 500K. But if I were to take a price prediction on a Neuer, I would say Neuer is probably going to be like 700 to 850 this year. That's my guess. I think people are paying less in modern day FIFA for a keeper, but I think people might still actually pay. What happened to my other tab here? Oh. Did it really pop out all these tabs? Okay, wow, we have a new tab. So if we go to defenders, for me, the back line is set in stone. I think it's going to be Davies, Ramos, Van Dijk, and Arnold. I've seen some people voting for Hernandez, Robertson. I've seen a couple Marquinhoses. I've seen some Kimpembes. But I think for me, that those are the 4 most common votes that I have seen. So Ramos, we'll start with Ramos. Ramos in FIFA 19 was very expensive. Now, he was 2.1 million. He was one of the best center backs in the game. So that's something you have to consider, that he was literally one of the best center backs in the game. Last year was interesting, and I think rating has to do a lot with price tag, because last year De Ligt was only like a mil, Delict was like 900K. It wasn't much. But he was a little bit harder to link. He's a little bit harder to link, whereas with Ramos, you have Courtois, you have Ferland Mendy, you have players like Inform Valverde. I mean, there's a lot of linkability when it comes to Courtois. But I think Ramos will have a really good card this year because I think Ramos already has like a 90 rated Inform. So when you take a look at Team of the Year boost, it's usually like plus 12 on most of the stats. So he should have like 98, 99 defending, 97, 96 physical. He's going to have good dribbling. People will want to use him in the midfield because he'll have probably all 80 plus stats. So, I mean, Ramos has a promising card to come. So, I think when you look at this card, I mean, Ramos' Inform is the cheapest it's ever been valued, and that's because he's not good. I've used this Ramos' Inform. It's not good. Anymore, it's not good because it's too slow. His work rates catch him out a little bit. But I would say that I think Ramos has the chance this year to be similar to that FIFA 19 price point. When we take a look at the current state of the market, you know, Paulo Maldini, guys, we log on and go on to the transfer market. Paulo Maldini, I think is like 6 million coins still, or 5 million coins. Yeah, he's 4.7 mil. So just considering that, I mean, I don't really see a way in which Ramos is less than 1.6, 1.7. He's probably not going to be more than 2.3. So I would put him in that kind of range of a price. I'm trying to give you guys ranges because it's impossible to say otherwise. So yeah, that would be my guess. Now, Van Dijk last year was very expensive. And the reason Van Dijk was so expensive last year is because he was that good. He was 3.1 mil, but he actually went to like 5 mil on the first day. People paid a lot for him, and that's because he was 99 rated. Now, any player in my books that's 99 rated is always going to be worth more than 3 mil. That's always my rule. If you're 99 rated, no matter what, you're really not going to go much less than like 2.8, 2.7, no matter who you are, because 99 rated offers a certain rarity. So I think Van Dijk will be probably a little bit similar of a price around 3 mil, if not a little bit less. I don't know what his rating's going to be. But I think Van Dijk might be a little bit less this year because I just think generally Van Dijk's card is not as good. Ron has really taken over the spotlight this year, and you guys can see the gold card difference is that Van Dijk this year is 200K, and if we look last year at this same time, we go to like January, his card is 500K. So there's a big difference with the Van Dijk's cards in FIFA this year and last year. His card this year is not as good, but I still think that Van Dijk will probably be around 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 mil. Prem, linkable. I think he's not going to be cheap. I also don't know if he's going to be 99 rated. I think it might be 98. So we'll see. I don't know what his rating is going to be. Trent should be very similar to last year's card. Maybe a little bit less in price because he won't be just as good. My price prediction for Trent is about 800 to 900K. That's what I think Trent's going to be this year. I think we've also had a lot of fullbacks in this year's game, which may cause a limiting factor in terms of these cards being super expensive. Fonzie Davies, guys, is 700K. Now, the thing you have to consider about this is a road to the final, so this is a unique item. However, I think his team of the year is going to be a 93 or 94. It's going to have 99 pace. His dribbling is going to be good. His passing is going to be a lot better. Davies will be one of the best left backs of all time because of his pure pace and strength. I think he's going to be expensive. I think Davies, Robertson last year was not that expensive. He was like 700K. I don't think Davies is going to be less than a mil. I think Davies will be 1.2 to 1.5, somewhere in that bracket. I think there is a lot of hype with this player, and I think he's very linkable. I think you have a lot of options to link this guy. We've now got a Goretzka headliner. We've got an Alaba road to the final. We've got icons. There's a lot of ways to link this card when he does get it. So I'm going to say that Davies is going to be pretty expensive. I think Davies will be more than Trent. I think that there's something you can't ever explain for a price point is pace, right? If we take a look at Theo Hernandez, right? He has 98 pace. People were paying 800K for him on day one because of this card and this pace for a fullback. So, again, I think he has a chance to be really expensive. Now, midfielder-wise, I think the midfield is going to be De Bruyne, just based off looking at votes, De Bruyne, Bruno, and Kimmich. But I also think there's a chance that Thiago gets in. I've seen a lot of Thiago. Thiago, out of those four, would be the cheapest. I don't know his price exactly, but I think Thiago would probably be like 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. He'd be the cheapest midfielder. The other three, however, will be very expensive. That's no doubt. Now, the most expensive out of the three that I think will get in is Bruno. Bruno will be by far the most expensive. Kimmich's Inform is 305K. If Kimmich gets a team of the year, I think because of the links to other Bayern team of the years, like a Davies, like a Lewa, he may actually be around 2 mil. Frankie de Jong last year was like 1.6, 1.8, and he was super meta. So I could see Kimmich being 1.5 to 2 mil. I could see that. Now, Again, as I said, if Kimmich gets a 98 or a 99, that causes a higher likelihood that his card is closer to that 2 million price point because of the rating. The higher the rated the player, the more chance it is that it's more expensive. Luka Modric in FIFA 19 wasn't really a full meta card, and he was 3 million coins for a long time. So just always keep that in mind, that the rating does impact it. I want you guys to understand that the rating definitely impacts some of these variables of prices. So yeah, that's my thing with Kimmich. Now, speaking about Bruno, Bruno's headliner is 2 million coins, right? Now, this is a live card, so obviously there's a little bit of a difference here because this is a live version of Bruno. But saying that, Bruno's card is going to get like a 97 minimum, in my opinion, and he's going to be ridiculous. So I could realistically see Bruno could be the most expensive team of the year midfielder we've ever seen. Last year, De Bruyne, and I think the most expensive, I don't even think De Bruyne was more than 3.3, around 3 mil for a couple of weeks. I can see Bruno being 3.5 to 4 mil. I really can. I think people will pay big time for him. I think he's going to be super expensive. And when we take a look at this guy's headliner being 2.03 mil, the chances of him being that expensive just for me seems even more likely. It really does. I think he's going to be super expensive. Conte last year was like 2.7. De Bruyne last year, you guys can see, was about 3 mil. I think De Bruyne will be a similar price. Again, maybe a little bit less. I think Bruno could overshadow this guy's price. This guy last year was the best midfielder. So I think Bruno could overshadow that a little bit. We'll see. I think De Bruyne will, again, always be 2.5 to 3 mil. For me, that's the price. But I think really Bruno could be 3.5 to 4 mil. Now we're going to talk about the attackers. The number one attacker who's going to 100% get in, Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski's going to be around 3 mil. That's my guess. He's going to be a 99 rated. He's going to have insane shooting. People will pay for him, man. I'm telling you, 99 rated. I think 3 mil sounds right to me. That sounds about right. 3 mil, I think, is the proper price point considering the nation, the league, the links, all that kind of stuff, and then the stats, right? Because the stats will be crazy. Now, I think from the votes that I've seen a lot of Ronaldo, I've seen a lot of Messi, I've seen a lot of Neymar. Those are the main other attackers that I've seen mainly. But I'll mention Mane and Mbappe because it's probably a little bit more relevant too. Messi last year was like 4 mil, 4.2 mil, 4.3. The difference is that Messi was a lot more meta last year in the eyes of the public. I still think Messi's very meta this year. Messi's gold card last year was 1.2 mil heading into Team of the Year, 1.1 mil, 1 mil. Right now on FIFA 21, Messi's gold card is 300K, right? It's a third of the price of last year. So for me, I'm going to say Messi's probably going to be 3.5, 3 mil. That's my, 3.3. I don't know if Messi's going to get a 99 rated, though. That's what he might be a 98. Last year he was a 99. He might be a 98 this year. I could see that happening. I think he's not going to be a 99. That may impact the price a little bit. That's my price prediction, man. I think he's going to be about I'd say 3.1 to 3.6 if I were to give you guys a real price on a Team of the Year Messi. What's interesting when we take a look at it is Ronaldo's Team of the Year is 3.2 mil. Now, Ronaldo's the most full meta striker in the game, in my opinion. I think he's the best striker in this game. I've played a lot of champs. I played a lot of R9, a lot of Cruyff, a lot of all these players. I think Ronaldo's the best. So we take a look at Ronaldo's price. Ronaldo, in my eyes, is not going to be less than 7 mil. 6.5. He really, when this dude has a good Team of the Year card, he's never cheap. He's just that overpowered. We take a look at white shirt Ronaldo last year. I mean, the guy was 6.7 at his cheapest and went to 9 mil out of packs. I mean, this is kind of what you guys could expect, bro. He's just so overpowered when it comes to FIFA. There's no stopping Cristiano Ronaldo in Team of the Years, right? There's just nothing you can do. And even when you take a look at FIFA 19, we have a similar trend, right? Card is ridiculous. Right? About 7 mil. So I think for Ronaldo, 7 mil sounds right. Probably 7 to 9 mil. Now, what can impact a lot of these Team of the Year prices is if EA continues to do these kind of like SBC card releases. The more SBCs that EA releases with these basement icons, player picks, the more coins EA takes off the game. The more they do that, the higher chance that Team of the Year is going to be cheaper. So just keep your eyes on that. That's always kind of this revolving variable that we have. Last year, Mbappe was really expensive. Really, 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 really expensive. Mbappe was really a lot. He was like 5 mil for a while. I'd say if Mbappe gets one this year, I'd even go as far to say he could be a little bit more. I think Mbappe's super meta this year. His gold card's worth more. I think Mbappe could have a really good chance to be more. He could be like 5.5 to 6 if he gets in. And then I guess the last attacker we have is Neymar. If Neymar gets one, same thing. Probably 5.5 to 7 mil. You're going to have super expensive attackers. And I think One of these two is going to get it with the 12th man. I think people will vote him. One of these three, right? One of these four, right? That's not Lewandowski, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo. Whoever doesn't make the starting 11 is going to get a 12th man SBC or a vote, right? And they'll get in and they'll be super expensive. So these are my price predictions, guys. Hopefully they help you. This is what I'm going to assume and guess. Who knows? I could be wrong. Let's see. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys later. Peace.